guys. We're really grateful that you're here at new member orientation. So I will go ahead and do land acknowledgements before we continue. Land acknowledgements are an honest and historically accurate way to recognize Native communities of this land. Presenting land acknowledgements recognizes histories that have been systematically erased. The Native peoples of this region include the Etowah, Kiowa, Santee, Edisto, Natchez Kuso, and Wasamasa people. The Region 2 RML recognizes the Native communities of the land on which we work, live, and play in Charleston, South Carolina. And then community agreements. During this time, we want you to really take care of yourself. If you need to step away, do what you need to do to take care of your own body. No one knows everything. Together, we know a lot. So we're really always here to learn from each other. Make space, take space, especially leave space for those who are from marginalized communities. One mic, one voice. We want to always make sure everyone has like an equal opportunity to participate. Understand the difference between impact and intent. Of course, we're always going to respect confidentiality, and we're going to be curious and respectful. And our guidelines are adapted from the GLSEN guidelines from respectful GSA spaces. So I'm going to keep going until Sarah enters the room. Sarah, if you are here, feel free to take the mic. We are part of course, much larger institutions. We are beneath the National Institutes of Health umbrella, which is the nation's research agency and has 27 institutes and offices. And under that umbrella is the National Library of Medicine, which is the world's largest biomedical library. And of course, the network of the National Library of Medicine, which is a program of the NNLM, and is comprised of 7 regional libraries, RMLs. You'll hear us refer to ourselves as an RML, and 3 offices.
Hey, I'm back.
Perfect timing.
If you missed me, how about that magic trick, everyone? Well, goodness, I'm sorry to have left you for a moment and to interrupted and be brought back in. I'll take it from here. Thanks so much. We missed some of my entertainment, my live entertainment at the beginning, but we'll continue on. Luckily, you've met 2 of my colleagues, or 3 at least, that have been managing this while I was away. But my how I was going to introduce us is that we're coming in from a national perspective, and then we're going to whittle it down to a regional, local, and kind of a meet our team. So that's kind of how it is right now. And the network of the National Library of Medicine's mission is here on this slide, to advance the progress of medicine and improve the public's health. And this is all done by providing U.S. health professionals with equal access to biomedical information and improving the public's access to information so that we all can make better and more informed decisions about our health. Next slide, please. Thank you. We have 3 initiatives that our 5-year cooperative agreement has, and these are confronting health misinformation, bridging the digital divide, and environmental determinants of health. And my question to you out in the audience is, does any of your work weave into these initiatives? And if they do, then you're in the right place. So keep on going. You have all beamed in or zoomed in from one of these regions, from region 2, excuse me, and one of the 6 states or 2 territories that are underneath this umbrella. We're here at the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston, South Carolina, but Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, South Carolina, our home, Tennessee, and the U.S. Virgin Islands are all within our region. And Region 2 is a very unique region geographically. We share cultures, we share borders, we share coastlines. And as we started out, we also share weather patterns. So That will come up later on in our new member orientation, which but unbeknownst to my teammates, changed to new member webinar because I had a freshman year flashback of ninth grade orientation. And so that gave me chills, but let's keep on moving. On to you, Elizabeth.
So I wanted to paint a little picture of what our membership base looks like. We have about 1,000 organizations in the 6-state, 2-territory region that makes up Region 2. And we have a majority of public libraries and academic institutions that make up our membership base. We also have very strong representation from healthcare, hospitals, medical clinics, as well as public health departments and other government entities, community-based and faith-based organizations, some professional associations, as well as a handful of K through 12 educators, librarians, etc. And we are going to ask a question in a moment here to see where y'all are fit in this breakdown, but just to give you a visual. So we're going to pull up a poll. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to have 3 questions that you'll see stacked on each other. Where are you coming in from today? What type of organization you are part of? And then what is the main reason that you joined NNLM this year? Everyone in attendance has created a membership in the last 6 months, and we just would love to know your main motivating factor for becoming part of this organization. Looks like we're getting some strong representation from Florida. A lot of academic institutions, welcome. We've got healthcare representative, an association, public health. And it looks like the majority joined in order to access a free training. Also, some of you met us at a conference. You'd like to get the newsletter. Wonderful. Looks like we have almost everybody.
I was wondering if we could take a quick break and kind of, find out who's in the audience here. Ooh, I'm from outside the U.S. or the U.S. Virgin Islands. Well, welcome, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Amazing. Elizabeth, how about that reach we have?
That's excellent. I don't know if you're able to see on the screen the breakdown, or if only I can see it.
I can see it too. It looks 30%
Okay.
from Florida.
Wonderful.
South Carolina and Florida are neck and neck at 30%. And I'm sorry we didn't add St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but now that we have audience members, we'll definitely put you on.
So welcome. This is really exciting to have you all here.
Well, thank you for that poll. And before we go further, I know that we're 12 minutes into this. You've heard from a bunch of us, and how I was going to start this out before I was so rudely zoomed out of here or zoomed somewhere else. It's a unique time of the year. We're spending time with family and friends and having conversations over the dinner tables and across from each other. And last week at the dinner table, everyone went around from my house and said, oh, what we were thankful for. And they were big things. For me, it was a prescription medicine. But then the octogenarian at the table said, okay, great big, thank yous for the world. But what about something small? What's something that any of you are appreciative on a daily basis? Something small. Mine was regular Dove soap. So let me know if any of you have some just a small thing that you are appreciative for on a daily basis, or something that you'd like to share. Mine is Dove soap, the original. The octogenarian said, I like it. Lauren Jackson in the audience said naps with a smile. The octogenarian said bird song, which of course, I mean, coffee, lots of it, chocolate, good stuff. So naps, chocolate, coffee, and Dove soap. I think that can be a deserted island for what you need to bring. Well, thanks so much for any thoughts. You can always throw more into the chat or send them our way, through other vibes. But let's keep on trucking through. What else do you need, huh? I am going to introduce our team who is in attendance here. I do have the community engagement outreach role, and that's why I get to be the shining light, or the kind of TV figure that you get to watch sometimes. We have a great team. Earlnisha Lumpkin is our program assistant and really the access point for Axis, AXIS, for our group. Isaac Cherry is our grant administrator and office manager. He's in the weeds, as you see, or in the greens, and is the state liaison for the U.S. Virgin Islands. We will talk a little bit more about state liaisonship, but he's got the U.S. Virgin Islands. Lauren Jackson, who steers the ship, she's really our mast, the executive director and the state liaison for Mississippi and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. She will introduce herself in some of the slides later on. And then we have 4 strategists, and I'm up in that right corner. My name is Sarah Fisher, and I'm the community engagement and outreach strategist. I am also the state liaison for Alabama and South and Central Florida. Deanne Brame, who I noted as the woman behind the curtain, is our technology and innovation strategist. She is the state liaison for Georgia. Elizabeth Roth, who just spoke a couple of minutes ago, is our research and data science strategist. She is our state liaison for Tennessee. And last but not least at all is Deborah Trogdon Livingston, who took over the reins as well at the beginning. And she's the user experience and education strategist, South Carolina and North Florida state liaison. So those are your direct contacts to our team, but we'll talk more about that later. Engagement, how we engage outwardly, and where are there opportunities for members, users, for region community members to participate with our regional medical library, or with our team, the Region 2. First of all, we have communications, which we send out. And as you all are here, when you signed up, you received a membership welcome letter. Next, that membership welcome letter kind of initiated you into our communications, and now you get a monthly newsletter from us as well. We'll go into these a little more in depth further into this hour we share together. We also have emergency communications and social media, because everyone's lives are available at all times these days. Additionally, we have 4 governance boards where we either host or we are participating on in the region. The first one is the Consortium of Southern Biomedical Libraries, COMBLS, Emergency Response and Preparedness Advisory Committee, which is in-house with us at Region 2 and goes by the acronym ERPAC. We have a health literacy think tank, HLTT, and a regional advisory board, which is also in-house, that goes by the acronym RAB. Now, I noted our state liaisons for each of the 6 states and 2 territories in Region 2, and those individuals are your direct contact to anything that's happening in the Region 2. And the easiest way to email us is region2 nnlm.gov. And that'll filter out to any of us, and you will hear back from us promptly, meaning promptly within, let's say, a couple days, but not like in 30 seconds. So, but for state liaisonship, we also want to hear from you, because the community that we serve has their fingers on the pulse, has the beat in the streets of what is going on in your local neighborhood, communities, healthcare facilities, your academic institutions. You know what's going on in your local, regional, state, and in your areas. And we'd love to have a reciprocal, a two-way, bi-directional communication plan with you. So Region 2 at nnlm.gov. What's our next slide? Oh, here we're bringing in Deborah. So Deborah is going to introduce herself and speak again. Welcome.
Hi there. So I'm Deborah Trugden Livingston. My pronouns are she, her. And just as a recap, I'm the user experience and education strategist, and I also head up communications as part of our communications team. So Sarah referenced some of the communications that you might receive from us and be able to participate in. We're really excited to be able to send you this welcome letter that's going to give you the information that you need to be able to engage with us, learn more about what we do, and give you direct contact information. So that's, like she said, the first time when we engage with you. And we also have a monthly newsletter, which is the Pulse. When you get the copy of these slides, you can click on it and it'll show you what November looked like. This is a really great resource for you. It has what's going on in Region 2. We hope that you guys will find us out and about in the community, and that we can get to know each other a little bit, maybe take some selfies, which you might find in this newsletter. You can learn about the educational and grant funding opportunities we have, and so much more. So when you see the monthly newsletter, take a look. It's kind of an important way for us to connect with you. We will definitely be sending out some emergency communications, and we hope that you guys connect with us and reach out to us. We want to know what's going on with you, and we really do care about you and your safety, and in the ways that we can help, we would love to. And then social media, we do have accounts with Facebook, with Twitter, with LinkedIn, and it's at RML2. These are great ways to connect with us, tag us. We'd love to see what you guys have going on. I'd love to see us have more back and forth engagement on our social media. If you are somewhere and you see one of us, or you participate with one of us, please share it to social media. We would love for you guys to join us in that endeavor a little bit more. And then you might think, like, putting the pieces together, what do we do at the RML? So here are some examples of things that we do, and some of it's familiar from previous slides. We do host the monthly Region 2 webinar series. We have the newsletter, of course, and we're always looking for fresh, great content, and we want to highlight the great things we do. We do post on our social media, which again, we hope you follow, like, and share. Our, of course, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And we actually teach NNLM national classes. So you guys may be more familiar with the fact that we have our own regional courses, that sometimes when you take things like Beyond the Binary might be something that we offer in year 3. As we offer these classes, you might see one of your Region 2 staff. We coordinate DocLine. Deanne does that for us and does an amazing job. So if that's a service that you can partake in and do, she does a really great job of keeping you on track. We do travel to exhibit and present at conferences. We really enjoy engaging with you all, and we love feedback. So if there's a place where you feel we should be, absolutely reach out. One thing that we're doing, for example, this weekend, Lauren and I are traveling to Columbia for the Midlands of South Carolina Black Nurses Association Scholarship Luncheon, and we'll be exhibiting and giving a very short little introduction. So if that's a place that you'll be, please come say hi. We'd love to get to know you, and we hope to see you as many places as we can go. It's a big region, but we do our best to spread ourselves out. We assist sub-awardees with project implementation. We try to help as much as we can throughout the whole grant process. We want you guys to be successful, and we love to partner with you. We do participate in NNLM working and planning groups. This is great because we can bring national expertise from the NNLM, the NLM, and the NIH right back to our region, and we can share our resources, and it makes us have a much wider reach. We do recruit and lead 4 Region 2 governance boards. That's some of the boards that were mentioned previously, and we could go into more detail about. And of course, we always seek member feedback and continuous quality improvement. We really do listen and respond to what we hear from you all. We really honor your voice, and we enjoy when we hear from you. And then we try to have a very robust education and training program. Monthly, you can look and see, we'll have a tech talk or a different themed webinar. So an example would be in November, we had a really wonderful webinar, Embracing a Longitudinal Simulation Curriculum on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Utilizing Virtual Reality. And I was so proud to see some of our sub-awardees talking about their really innovative use of AI and virtual reality to fight against health inequity, pretty much. It was great. This has been a wonderful series. Keep a lookout. And then coming up really soon, it is not too late for you guys to sign up. On Tuesday, December 6th, that's next Tuesday, we have Telehealth and Health Libraries, the intersection of digital health partnerships, coming up from 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. And we would love to see you guys there. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity. We're always happy to do that. And then CE credit, I meant to mention, we do as much as we can to like have free CE credits for you all. So be on the lookout for that. And if you haven't learned about specializations, this is a great time to start. We have a lot of free CE courses in the NNLM that support these specializations, and you can take all kinds of different classes. There are live webinars, there are on demand, online, recorded. So you might take either like a 1-hour webinar for 1 CE credit, or like a 4-week course that might be an hour work each week for 4 CE credits. So the credit level and formats are different that might suit your schedule. And once you've taken those courses, we do sponsor the application fee. So I recently obtained the Consumer Health Information Specialization 1, and it's actually a lot of the courses that go towards that you may have taken or may plan to take, and it really is only 12 CE hours. There are also options for this one. There are CHIS on-demand courses where you can really, you could do it pretty quickly if you could make the time. But as soon as you finish, of course, you could apply to have that application fee completely covered. And we also have the data services specialization, which Elizabeth Roth recently did. Same idea. This one teaches you about data services and management, how to support researchers, clinicians, your communities. Same idea. If you take those courses, you could be supported and have the application fee sponsored and paid for by us. Just a note, disaster information specialization to me is a really important one. We talk a lot, we're doing emergency preparedness in this year of our grant funding, but it does end April 2023. So if that's something you'd like to pursue, there's no time like the present. I'm going to pass it on to grant funding.
Deborah, thanks so much. Lauren's going to talk to all of us about grant funding, but I wanted to just interject a breath here. We've been throwing a lot of information out at you. It's riveting. I know we're an amazing group, and I just wanted to make sure that we've all take a quick breath together. Inhale and exhale until we move on to more powerful information that the Region 2 is going to give you. But I wanted to let you all have a breath, because it's a lot of information coming from you. And we are just so excited to have our first new member webinar. So you're the first participants of this, and we're happy to have you. And I just wanted to let everyone have a breath from all the information coming at you, just to be able to get ready for the next load. Here you go, Lauren. The platform and the microphone are yours.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Yeah, always good to take a breath before we talk about money. Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you about grant funding and also dive in a little bit more in a moment about our governance boards and explain that to you. But welcome to the new member webinar. So in regards to grant funding, we're currently in year 2. Year 1 ended in April of 2022, and now we're in year 2 of our overall grant cycle, which runs until April 30th, 2023. Our upcoming funding cycle for year 3 will be from May 2023 to April 2024. So that's the cycle that it starts on. It starts in May and ends in April of the next year. Some of the previous funding award categories for where members can apply for funding regarded health information outreach, technology improvement, professional development, money for exhibiting, disaster preparedness and recovery. And then we actually piloted a new grant or award this year that was the Membership Catalyst Award. And that one was specifically for our members in Mississippi and Puerto Rico, because we noticed an economic disparity where, because of natural disasters, because of infrastructure, a whole host of issues, we weren't giving as much funding to our members in Mississippi and Puerto Rico. One of the benchmarks of our program and the Region 2 RML is equity. So we try to pay attention a lot to where members are getting funding, who is, how it works out to try to keep a balance. And when we noticed that that was an issue, we used some of our year 1 carry forward funding to support members in those regions. And they were successful. They applied for money, and we have 3 awards totaling about $46,000 that will go to folks in those areas. There are 3 awards in total that have been awarded. So, I would say it's really important, kind of going back to what Sarah and Deborah have said about being a part of our communications, including the Pulse newsletter, because occasionally we have like short-term funding, or we're piloting something new because we're still getting established as an RML. So there's potential, for example, that over the next month, we'll have awards that you can apply for professional development. We need to get that secured with our larger office that gives us the money, but we're hoping to. And the only way you'll know about it is if you're on our communications, because that's how we'll let you know when it opens up and how to get to the award on the website. So I would recommend making sure that you're a part of that, making sure that you're officially a member, which you are because you're here. And then also another great resource is a proposal writing toolkit. So even if you're not interested in applying for short-term funding, when those open up, if you want to be ready for future funding in year 3, year 4, year 5, I would definitely take a look at the link that Deanne just dropped in the chat to know what kinds of things are always expected by people who become funded through Region 2. Thank you, Deborah. So let me talk about the governance boards. It's kind of broken into 2 main buckets. There are 2 where Region 2 is the lead of the governance board. We do all of the coordination, the planning, the administration. And then, like Sarah mentioned earlier, there are 2 that we're a part of or are, connected to us, but where we don't steer the ship. The 2 that we do are the Regional Advisory Board and the Emergency Response and Preparedness Advisory Committee. So for the Regional Advisory Board, we can start with that one. I'm the chair of that committee, and we always have like additional representatives from our team that also are a part of each board. So the rep with me is Elizabeth. And some of the things that we try to aim for the Regional Advisory Board is diverse representation. So, geographic diversity, different types of organizations, like the membership slide that Elizabeth showed, making sure we have people who are interested in different aspects of health equity. Those are all the things that we look for. And that group is really responsible for advising, implementing, evaluating what we're doing overall in the RML. So as members of the Region 2, and also as like leaders leading from where they are in any organization that they're a part of, we ask them for their insight about how we do things in the region, so that it's not just us, directing the program. So that involvement is really important to us. We will be recruiting for new members in January. So again, keep your eye out on the communication when that opens up. And we're hoping to have a kickoff meeting tentatively in February for that board. Then we have the Emergency Response and Preparedness Advisory Committee. The co-chairs of that committee are Sarah and Shannon. The R2 reps are Isaac and also Brian, who works at the MUSC libraries, but isn't directly on the RML. And that's a passionate, diverse core group. They support with developing regional response plans and also supporting, individual members across our region with how to create their own plans to respond to emergency situations. They meet in 4 quarterly meetings per grant cycle, and they're currently recruiting members from Tennessee and Puerto Rico. Sarah, do you want to add anything to this one or wait until you have your next slide? Okay, sounds good. Okay, so then there are two other groups. One is the Consortium of Southern Biomedical Libraries, or CONBLs. Shannon really leads that for our team, and then also I'm on it, as well as Deanne. It's comprised of directors and deans of Southern Biomedical Libraries across Region 2. These tend to be the biggest libraries, academic libraries that we have. And so CONBLs kind of exists outside of the Regional Medical Library, but we have overlap in terms of the geographic representation. So they're a very important group for us to connect to. We've been working on, and we actually met earlier today in this group. We were working on tackling the changes to the resource library program. Turns out we're going to discontinue it and just use CONBLs in terms of what the resource libraries used to do, because we have the same overlap with the region. So we're not even going to continue the resource libraries like it was in the previous grant cycle, like before 2021. And they're also working on developing how they can be supported across the region too when it comes to emergency situations with the support from ERPAC. Then we have the Health Literacy Think Tank. The co-chairs of that are Rachel Walden from ETSU, who's a Region 2 member, and also Rena Lubker, who is actually a faculty member at MUSC Libraries. The rep for that one is Deborah from the Region 2 team. Health Literacy Think Tank is focusing on external communities. So even like having a national reach or different types of organizations that maybe have not been included typically in health literacy. You may have heard about initiatives where barbershops or beauty shops became, instrumental throughout the South with giving health information. That would be something that maybe the Health Literacy Think Tank would support with, reaching out to those non-traditional or places where we haven't considered where health information is given and accepted by community members. They're working on thinking about Healthy People 2030, a larger federal, initiative to make sure that people have better access to health and more positive health outcomes. And they're working to identify best practices for combining digital and health literacy, because we're seeing, especially through the pandemic, that there's a lot more overlap than was considered previously. And we need to figure out ways to give access to those of us who are most disenfranchised to have access to that information. And then they're also going to be thinking about, for April, the Southeast Health Literacy Conference and seeing if they can support with that as representatives from this team. And with that, I'll turn it over to Sarah to talk more about ERPAC and emergency preparedness.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Yes, ERPAC is, emergency preparedness is a theme of our team of this year, but we are working to really integrate emergency preparedness into the Region 2 RML throughout the cooperative agreement, and to really integrate it into our identity. So the emergency preparedness that we can offer and support and ways to engage and get from information are here. What we can do is we can support you as members in preparing for and responding to disasters and localized emergencies. We have ERPAC, which is the advisory committee. I am a co-chair with Shannon Jones. We are looking for representation from Tennessee and Puerto Rico. You can always send in any questions or, hey, I'd love to join at region2@nnlm.gov. Also for September, which is National Preparedness Month, we hosted an inclusive disaster planning webinar considering the needs of people with disabilities, and had 3 regional experts, a health sciences librarian, a disability advocate, and a public health expert as a panel for that webinar. And it was excellently attended. And was fascinating to hear from different regions as well, and what's going on there. We, as Lauren noted, we have emergency preparedness grant funding, and in this second year cycle, we funded a ham radio project in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Isaac, the state liaison for U.S. Virgin Islands, did visit recently, do a site visit, and to kind of oversee or actually peek in is a better way to say it, peek into this project and how it is actually unfolding. And it is a nurse who is a ham radio operator in the U.S. Virgin Islands, who is doing a training program. And we are also helping fund some of the infrastructure, the repeaters, which transmit the signals from one to another across for transmitting information during disasters and emergencies. So we also noted the emergency communications. We have sent out 2 weather advisories, one including one recently after post Hurricane Ian. And it's noted, you'll notice with a red background and says weather advisory. So just if you remember receiving that in your email box. And also we've created a web page that's Region 2 Emergency Preparedness Resources that you can visit, which has a wide breadth of resources from national level down to local and state level. So those are the emergency preparedness resources and ways to engage with Region 2. I'm going to welcome back Elizabeth, the data queen, because she's doing our next poll with you. Come on in, Elizabeth.
So we wanted to get some feedback from everyone in attendance to see what topic areas are of interest to you, and also what social media, if any, that you look at and where it would be of most help to see us post things. So the poll should be launched, and feel free to fill that in. You can choose as many topics as you like for the first question. And then for the second question, we asked for just what would be your top social media platform that you check. And I'm definitely going to share these when the poll ends. We've got a couple more people. And we just chose 4 sort of hot topic areas for this poll. We will do more, but we're just curious to see where the interest lay in these 4 topics. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll end the poll and bring that up on the screen. So it looks like we've got the most interest in health disparities, followed by health literacy, data management, and emergency preparedness. And then in terms of social media, looks like LinkedIn has the most interest, which is really helpful to know. We added a LinkedIn account just this spring. And so that's great to know that we were going in the right direction. And then a handful who don't use social media. So yeah, better spot would be on our newsletters and other emailings. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. This is one of our last slides. I know. Can you believe it? Our time is coming to a close, but we have 18 minutes left. So until then, here we go. All of us, which is a program affiliated with the network of the National Library of Medicine, not necessarily under the Region 2 umbrella, but we do partner with them. They're sending out buses. They're doing a mobile All of Us journey. And my first question was going to see if anyone listens to the band Journey, because as a space saver, while I was making this, I did have a picture of Steve Perry from Journey holding this. But so All of Us Journey is an interactive exhibit to learn about the All of Us research program and precision medicine. There are what we're offering you today. No, but what this slide says is that they are coming to Region 2, and in the spring, they're coming to specific areas that are listed below, and they are looking for host sites. So ways to host the buses for a couple of days, a couple of hours. You can choose. So from March 6th through March 26th, they're going to be in North Charleston, South Carolina. And I do know that they've already got 2 sites planned there. So that's always great to see already people wanting to welcome the All of Us Journey bus. But from 4/10, so April 10th through the 30th, they'll be in Jackson, Mississippi, May 15th through May 21st, Memphis, Tennessee, and May 29th through June 18th, Nashville, Tennessee. So perhaps even if you are not located in those areas and you've got friends, colleagues, collaborators, please send this information on to them. All of Us Journey really loves to partner in particular with public libraries, but all spaces that could welcome them and introduce to those specific communities are welcome. Looks like a couple of us have some questions in the chat, and we're just going to hold that out for a second. Wow, lots of it. I love it. Thanks so much for throwing in some questions, and I see some answers being thrown in too, so I appreciate that. While we finish this out, there will be another moment when we can answer some more questions for you. What's our next slide, Deborah? Question and answers. Perfect. Thanks for lining me up with this. I don't know how I scheduled that, but planning. I know you all just threw in some questions. The biggest question often is, does anyone need to reset their password? And if that's a no, then we'll move on. But looks like I've got a couple questions in the chat. Let's see. I've got, would you please talk about All of Us Rare Diseases and what is it about? I do not know about All of Us Rare Diseases, but I can definitely put you in contact with someone who does. Does anyone else have anything on All of Us Rare Diseases? But we will keep you in mind. We're going to connect you with the right group. So have you seen them in concert? Not ashamed that I still wail the, you're talking about Journey. I gotcha. I love it. And thanks so much. Please send us the schedule and their contact information. Is that for Journey or All of Us Journeys? Oh no, now I got everyone screwed up. They all want to hear Steve Perry, rather than precision medicine. Oh no, maybe I have a new calling. All of Us Journey, got it. I'm not sure. I'm getting the emails from you all. I've not seen the pulse before. I've seen the same issue as Jenny. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff going on in the chat. Anyone have any questions they wanted to take themselves off mute for? Thanks, Deanne, for throwing. If you just created an account this month, you'll get an email with a newsletter option tomorrow. Aha, we've seen someone created an account in the summer. We're going to connect with you too. We don't want any problems with communications and nor problems with not knowing. So we will help you out. I did get a welcome email. Okay, so. I don't know. Again, I'm going to have to figure this out. This All of Us NNLM speaker series, rare diseases are not rare. Oh, a voice coming in. Hello?
Yes, my name is Mohammed Kadir. I am from Somali Community Resettlement Service. I will appreciate today attending this meeting. I get a lot of information. So is there anyone we can make a participation, because I am now living with the state of Minnesota, and then we are a non-profit organization. So we are doing 48 other programs regarding with the mental health and health disparity, HIV, COVID, measles, community engagement, all this stuff. So sometimes we are looking the capacity building to our staff. So when I see this one, it is very interesting through the capacity building through our staff. So my question is, can we make collaboration, and then can you send me more information through email? Thank you.
Wonderful. Absolutely, Mohammed. Thank you for your question. Would you either send your contact information in the chat if you're comfortable with that? If not, I'll connect with you. You're with the Somali community in Minnesota, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will put my email over here on our website, and then we can check that one.
And Deanne, thanks so much, Mohammed. Deanne put in the chat as well that email us directly at region2@nnlm.gov. I see that this course is posted in the MLA. I see what you're talking. You see our email in the chat. You can email us there as well, Mohammed, and we'll connect.
Yes,
I
thank
gotcha.
you.
Thank you so much. Anything else? We've got this MLA class, the MLA and the All of Us. Rare diseases are not rare. We're looking for it. I got you. Thanks for giving us the link. Someone's going to be looking at it while I'm wasting time talking your ears off. But looks like you guys have a lot of questions, and I love that. That means engagement. Thank you to you.
Hey, Sarah. Sorry, I'm just jumping in real quick.
Thanks.
So for Apollonia's question, I found the website through MLA for what All of Us is doing. It looks like it's going to be a training on April 6th about rare diseases, and all of that should be there on that website. And if you have additional questions, please do email us at region2@nnlm.gov, and we'll get you more information. But I think that's what you were looking for.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Michael Edwards, I see you. I don't see Jackson, Mississippi on the website for the All of Us journey. It is listed. The slide came directly from the horse's mouth, if you will. We have some of that information and the schedule of where it will be. We can email that to you. Is that good?
Yeah. And actually, I noticed from the website, it says events for 2022. So they may not have 2023 may not be up there. So that could be.
Yeah, we have some updated information. Thank you for coming today, because now you know what kind of good stuff we have. Wonderful. Thanks so much for your email. I got it.
Thanks.
This is fantastic. I'm totally counting. I love it. If you host an in-person training or event in the U.S. Virgin Islands, count me in. Yes, exactly. Count us all in. And Isaac will lead the way. Oh, great. Anyone else? I feel good. How about anyone else on my team? You want to, throw in? I got a little clap. Not a little clap. I didn't mean to make it. I got a big clap. I just couldn't hear it. That's why it's a loud, aggressive, muscular clap. Thank you. I want to say thank you to my teammates, and thank you to all of you in the audience for listening to us and going through these slides and participating and having questions. Thank you. Thank you. We've got another slide, a last one. Find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, which we now know is our fave, and Twitter at NNLM Region 2. And remember, our email is easy. It's region2@nnlm.gov.